Hi, yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Um, Thank you for coming today.
Yeah. I'm glad we talked so much before this. We should have recorded.
Do you want to tell me why you're here today?
Yeah, so I have a few concerns and or things I would like to work on. I called them problem in the beginning and was like, actually, these are things I would like to work on. One of them, since we covered it a little bit, restlessness,
Okay.
time management and how stressful that can be, and decision making, whether it's the next thing or life changing
Okay.
decisions.
Okay, so kind of looking like reframing it, you want to be able to um make decisions, right? You feel like you're lacking decision making.
Mhm. In a way, like if a decision kind of, I go with the flow. So if a decision comes to mind, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, but I don't stop and like think, or if I do, I still don't know how to make it the decision because I'm able to see, and I really love this ability that I'm able to see, say there's five decisions in front of me. I'm able to see the negative in this one and the positive in this one, the negative in this one and the positive. So it makes me feel paralyzed. I don't want to make a decision because they all can have goodness in them, but they're all making me, here's my fear is that if I make a decision, it will take away all the other decisions that I still have.
Okay.
So when I don't make a decision, I think I have this illusion that decisions are going to be there for me. But now I'm realizing that not making a decision is a decision.
Okay.
Because then some of these doors will close.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you did mention like the strength that you have. So when you see a decision, you're able to see the good of it and the bad of it. So you're kind of able to see all the side of it.
I'm able, if I spend time on it, I am definitely able to do that.
So that is a strength. Like you're able to do it, and like think over your decisions before you make a decision. Yeah. Do you want to kind of identify a time where this problem wasn't a problem in your life?
Mm, when decisions were made for me, when my life
Okay.
and my life was like that for a long time, um, until I was like 25. All decisions were made, like, oh, we're moving, oh, we're doing this, or you're getting married, like things like that. But when I start having my own ability to choose and my freedom, which I really something I really desired for a long time, and I put in the work to get it. But then now I'm just like, oh, now I have to make all these decisions, and I just feel I do get decision paralyzed sometimes. That I'm like, even like if it's on a small spectrum, if I have a lot to do in the house or at work, I just feel paralyzed because I just like, I can't start. This is too many things. I don't
Okay.
know where to start and which one to choose. But even in life changing decision, I have ultimate freedom right now. I could literally just pick up and go wherever I want, or choose whatever job I want. And I just feel like it's too scary to choose.
Okay. Okay. So you did say like before, like let's say this problem wasn't a problem, is when other people made the decisions for you.
Yeah.
But now when you come and you have to make those decisions, what will I want you to think and you tell me what will be like your preferred future? Like what the solution to it? Like
I want
what
to
do you
be
think?
able to make decisions. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to make decisions with the wisdom that it's okay that I'm making other sacrifices, not choosing the other decisions. But I want to literally inject this belief in me that when I make a decision, other decisions can come up. I just have to make the next one. I just have to take that one little step to that decision. Say like, okay, say I have three jobs offers. Instead of like feeling like, oh, I don't know which one to choose, I don't know, and then I don't choose anything. I want to choose a job and then not be afraid that in 2 months that job might lead to a different job opportunity. Or just start cleaning the bed and then see if I can clean the whole house eventually.
How do you think what kind of skills or things you think you need to have that? Like to be able to make this one decision or to be able to go with one thing that can or lead to like a different one. What kind of things do you think you need in you to have that?
Um, I need bravery. um, I need time to. Well, actually, sometimes that makes it even worse. Like if I have a lot of time, then I just feel maybe I actually need like urgency of making the decision of like, okay, you have to make a decision in the next 5 minutes of
Okay.
getting up and cleaning the house. So maybe some, even though I don't like this word, but rigidness, like a little bit of like, oh, of structure. Actually, that's the word.
Okay.
I would like.
So you want kind of like you have to make a decision within 10 minutes or 10 days or yeah, okay.
And maybe respect that too, because sometimes I tell myself that and I just don't. But some sort of structure, to realize that okay, a decision has to be made. You cannot just let it linger and then it's gonna pass you and you're like, oh, I didn't choose, so I don't have to feel so bad. And bravery, really, just I want to be brave and just not be able to like just go to the thing. Okay, this doesn't work out. Let's move on to the next thing. Or it works out really nice.
Do you feel like you're not brave?
Sometimes I feel very scared, yeah, and sometimes I
You're
feel like
scared
I'm
to make
very,
the decisions.
yeah,
Okay. Where does it come from?
fear of making a decision. I, where does that fear come from? Um, of making the wrong decision. Like of being blamed of making the wrong decision. Whether I'm really hard on myself sometimes internally. Like if I make a wrong decision or if I make mistakes, you should have known better. So I know this is solution focused, but we can, if we wanted to dig deep, we could do. This is more like, because yeah, then it comes from in the past probably an accumulation of other things.
Okay. I want you to tell me when was the last time you felt like you were able to make the decision faster, or like you were satisfied yourself with making a decision.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can choose any. Oh, the
Like
last
the
time.
last time,
The
yeah.
last time I made a decision this morning.
Okay, yeah.
I got up and put my clothes on quickly and made it to work. I made a decision. I made a decision to get coffee.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you felt like you're doing small steps. First of all, you're acknowledging, that you want to like the problem kind of, you're acknowledging the solution, but you're already taking small steps into making it better. Like if you say the last time was this morning, it's already a little bit of a change.
So I am making decision as of today.
Yes, and you're going toward the solution.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, you just like those small steps or something too.
I gotta celebrate those.
Exactly.
I just didn't like when you said last time I make the decision. It was like 5 years ago. And I was like, no, actually, you constantly make decisions.
Yes, you do. Yeah, and I think by just knowing like what's the solution, what you want, you already doing those baby steps into the big solution. Like into making, maybe when a big decision will come, maybe it will be easier just by making those small decisions.
Yeah. I think it makes me trust myself a little bit more when I make small decisions because I could make a mistake of ordering the wrong coffee, and that's fine. But as long as I made a decision, and I see it in that
wrong coffee.
yeah. But at the same time, like I know this, but when it comes to implementing it, the fear still exists. And maybe I should just make a decision while I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, while you're afraid. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Like kind of just go with it.
Yeah.
What would you scale? Okay, what will need to happen or change for you to like, okay, let's say, what would you scale your, I know it's a solution focus, but what would you scale your problem to be from 0 to 10?
Oh, how much it's impacting my life?
Yes, yeah, yes, yeah, like on your scale.
Maybe I'm making it worse than it is, but like I would say from 1 to 10, I'd say 8.
Okay.
Like it just it always in my head that I'm just like, oh, you gotta choose now. You gotta choose. Do you want to stay invisible? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
And I think it's because of how many choices I have. Because I realize like when you were never given your freedom, and then all of a sudden that's why revolutionary doesn't work because like it's just when you're not never made decisions, and then all of a sudden you're able to make any decisions you want. It can be just an overwhelming feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm glad you acknowledged that. But I want you to think what will need to happen or change if you want to go up a point. So if you want to like go, let's say 8, we said 10 is the worst, 0 is the best.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the
Mm.
yes, like
Mhm.
10 is a word, 10 is a day. So if you want to go down a point,
Okay.
what will need to change?
Okay. So if I want to make it less of like a stress thing and have to, hmm, let me just think of this. mm, I really think, I know this is being over, but slowing down to realize that, okay, there's a decision in front of me. I love inner monologue of talking to myself. So I was just like, I could say, okay, I know that you're afraid of making this decision. But right now we have three decisions in front of you. You've got to make just like kind of calming the really, really afraid child making the decision. Just like, okay, you have to make a decision. You do not have to make any of them if you don't want to. It is up to like just I think talking to myself often works really, really well. Like I did consider I was like, oh, I actually don't go to therapy yesterday when you're like, you don't and then I was like, well, I have a really internal therapist that is constantly I never pay her, but it's constantly going on.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So kind of slowing down and kind of moving toward a solution.
Spending time with those things, like not being afraid of like I think me not making this decision is an avoidance. And I just if I avoid it long enough, then it's not there. Then what after that? So just I think what can be helpful with avoidance is facing the things, but facing the things really scary. So I could face the things by like talking a bit, like kind of bringing it into existence and saying, okay, you're afraid of making these decisions. Let's sit down with them and let's think pros, cons, whatever. Just and that happens when I slow down, when I give it enough time. Like instead of running away from the decision for 5 days, I could just spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that is a good point. I want you to close your eyes and I'm going to ask you kind of a strange question. Okay. Suppose that while you are asleep tonight and the entire house is quiet, a miracle happens. The miracle is that someone solved the problem that you brought you here. So kind of the decision making. However, because you slept, you didn't know that the miracle happened. So when you wake up, you woke up in the morning, um, and the miracle just happened, and you didn't know that. What would be different that tells you that the miracle happened?
What would be different?
Yeah.
I just get up out of bed right away because I was like, oh, I gotta go. um, I I would have less mental fatigue, I'd say.
Okay. So how would you know it happened?
How would I know? Probably. hmm, I think the first thing in the morning is I start thinking, oh, what am I going to do today? What do I do? So I think it's going to be less of that because if that miracle happens, I would just be able to think about the decision and make it. So there's this kind of like a smooth transition of getting out of bed, knowing what the next thing is, and not having the internal fight.
Okay.
So I'll probably notice it through my actions and my internal thoughts.
Okay, I like that. I want you to ask if let's say somebody close to you, think about somebody, let's say, that lives in Bismarck or somebody you talk on the phone with, like your sister or your mother. What would they notice that will tell them that a miracle had happened?
How would they notice?
Yes, like
Okay.
what would they notice? Let's say the miracle happened and you didn't say anything. How would they notice that the miracle had happened? Like you.
I'd be able to be more like affirmative, like I'd probably be just like, okay, I'm going to do this, and not just saying, well, I do like that I do it this way. Like, what speaks to you? We have all these options, but they probably notice it like less dilemma going on,
Okay.
and more of just doing the thing, taking the steps.
How would they react?
It would be. I surround myself with supportive people, so I think they would be supportive. They maybe a close friend would mention it, like, "Oh, Ayat, I've been noticing that you've been making things happen."
Okay. And what would you do? What would you do next?
If I am able to make decisions easily, Um, I'd probably manage my time and my attention. Um, there's a lot of decisions I feel like are on the back burner, so I start probably taking them one by one and then doing some of those things.
Okay, I like that. Have there been times when you have seen pieces of this miracle happens?
Yes.
Want to tell me about them?
Should I keep it close?
You
Um, some days I just feel like, oh, yeah, we can take on the world. And I do notice my period cycle does have a lot to do
Yes.
with it.
Okay.
But it happens more when I choose to work out. Like if I just choose
Okay.
any movement, I'm able to like do small things. Except I have ADHD, so I could do a lot of things, but it would be like 500 things, and none of them gets actually done. But it's fine because I was like, nobody noticed how much you. But yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. So kind of do like a little summary. So we kind of touched, you came here with the three problems, but we kind of touched just because of lack of time on just like the decision making and explore more focus like on the solution. And you already said that you did some steps into the solution. Um, and I feel like even if when you woke up this morning, even if it's a little step and you maybe have a little bit of a better understanding of how to solve the problem, kind of a deeper understanding. What do you think?
I think so. Like just talking about it right now was helpful. It made me understand like, oh, that's how you see it. Like I didn't know how I see it because I just don't talk about it, you know? But yeah. Uh I think I overwhelm myself with the decisions. I was like, oh, if you make this decision, then 500 other ones would come up. And I just have to realize that, okay, there is a step in front of you and there's a whole mountain. Take the first
Slowly,
step.
slowly.
Sometimes I'm just like, I want to yell at myself, just like, just take the first step. So, yeah.
But you did notice like doing certain things like exercising or moving or
Yeah. It's just
bring
redeeming
you.
trust with myself. Like,
Yeah.
I need and I like to trust myself more. And I think when I don't make decisions, it makes me feel like, oh, you're doubting yourself, you're doubting the choices, you're doubting your ability to choose. But when I just show I act like, hey, this is a trust card. You can trust me. It almost makes me feel like, oh, well, because she showed up in the morning like she said she would last night, you can trust her. She can do other things.
Okay. I like it. For the next time, I want you to um, kind of try to implement those little changes, but I want you to also notice the difference. So I just want you to kind of notice the little things that move you into the solution.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop the record.